皆さんおはようございます。こんにちは。こんばんは。Wherever you may be, hello and thank you for being here. Feel free to say hi in the chat. This is our first Japanese live NHK News article. So happy to have you here. Let me know in the chat what time it is where you're at. And we will get into our article very, very soon. Hope things are good wherever you're at. I apologize. I have a little bit of a cold I'm trying to get over, so my voice might be a little bit raspy and I might have to take a drink and take some drink breaks with my huge big mug here. And yeah, maybe even cough a little bit off stream. But thank you so much for being here. So let us go ahead and get started jumping into our article. If I click right here, we should be jumping right into it. Okay, yep, there we are. Okay, so let's switch that up right here. Okay, so let's jump into our headline first. So for today's headline, we have, sorry, one more thing. Just want to have everything ready so we can not have any delay in between the sections. Okay, so we have Sakura, いつもの年より早く咲きそう. So for our vocab for the day, we have Sakura, which is the cherry blossoms. Then we have Toshi, which is a year. Now this is a word, or a kanji, I guess, that you can put after a number to mean like a year. So if I wanted to say 2026, I would say 2026年. And when we put it after a number rather than toshi, we're going to read it nen. But by itself, most of the time it will read toshi. So if you're talking about a specific year, but you're not saying like the number of the year, you'll use the word toshi, or this kanji will read toshi. If you're putting it after a number, then it will normally read nen. So 2026年 be 2026. But if I just said, oh, the year, it's a nice year, いい年だ, いい年です. So by itself, toshi, after a number, we'll read it nen. Okay, then we have hayaku, which is early, and saku, which is to bloom or to blossom. So jumping back into our headline, we have sakura. So sakura, the cherry blossoms, and itsumo. So itsumo means always, but in this situation it means something slightly different. We have itsumo no toshi, so connecting it to toshi here, or year. When we say itsumo no toshi, that kind of means like the same year as always, or an average year. So itsumo no toshi, an always year or an average year. Yori. So yori is a grammar that we use when we're saying something is more something than something else. We have itsumo no toshi yori, more than your average year. And then hayaku is our early. So something is happening earlier than your average year. And sakiso. So saku is the verb to bloom. And then a grammar point we're running into here is this so desu, or so. So this so, there's actually two main so grammars in Japanese, where they mean different things, but they're conjugated slightly different. So here we have the mas stem of the verb. So it'd be sakimasu, right? If we use that mas stem and then add a so onto it, what that means is it seems like something is going to happen. The other so means we hear it, like hearsay from someone else. But this one is sakiso. So seems like it will bloom. So, sakura. We have our main topic here, which is the cherry blossoms. いつもの年より早く咲きそう. So it seems like they will bloom earlier than the average year. And that is it for our headline. So next, we will go back to our vocab, go through the rest of the vocab or the article. Okay. So now we have, okay, 今年. So 今年 is this year. So you can see we use the toshi reading in this word as well. Most of the time we'll use the nen reading, but this is another one of those cases where we use the toshi reading. Then we have tenki yoho. So tenki yoho is the weather forecast. We have kaisha, which is company. Yoso, which is expectation or anticipation. So when something is expected, we can use yoso saremasu or yoso shimasu. I anticipate something or I expect something. Yoso shimasu. We have Nihon Kisho Kyokai, which is the Japan Weather Association. If you kind of break that down, Nihon Kisho Kyokai. Nihon, the Japan. Kisho, which is kind of like weather, or what's the other English word I'm looking for? Climate, kind of. And then Kyokai, which is an association. So the Japan Weather Association. And we have hi, is an easy way to say like a day. Then we have samui, which is cold. Atatakai, which is warm. And finally, oi, which is an e adjective meaning many or a lot. So whenever there's a lot of something, we can use oi, many or a lot. Okay. Cool. All right. So let's jump into our article and have our native audio along with that. Because I know none of you want to hear my Japanese when you can hear a native speaker. So, okay, looks like we are ready for that. So we'll break this down a sentence at a time. Hopefully you can hear this just fine.
今年は桜が
Oh, sounds like you can't because something's going on. Nice. Okay. Now we should be good. Let's try this again.
今年は桜がいつもの年より早く咲きそうです。
Is that loud enough? Hopefully. All right. So we have 今年は. So 今年, this year, は with our main idea of the sentence. 桜が. So 桜. So our cherry blossoms. が. They're going to do something or be something. This ga tells us our sakura is our subject. And then we have いつもの年より. Okay, this is just like our headline here. But let's go over it real quick anyways. So, いつもの年より. So, more than the average year. いつもの年より. 早く. Early. 咲きそうです. Looks like the cherry blossoms will bloom or blossom earlier than your average year. 桜がいつもの年より早く咲きそうです。Okay. Next sentence.
天気予報をする会社などは桜がいつ咲くか予想しています。
Okay. 天気予報. So 天気予報 is our weather forecast. And then 天気予報をする会社. So 天気予報をする is our action here describing our 会社. So 天気予報をする, someone that does the weather forecast. And then we have 会社. So 会社 would be a company. So a company, companies that do weather forecasts. など. So など is our and things like it. So companies that do weather forecasts and other such entities, other kind of people, companies, groups. は, that's our main idea. 桜が, so the cherry blossoms が, once again going to do something. いつ咲くか. So いつ, when, and 咲く, blossom. And か. So we have an embedded question here, which means there's going to be a verb that goes along with this question here. So 桜がいつ咲くか. When the cherry blossoms will bloom or blossom. 桜がいつ咲くか. That's our question. And then we have a verb that is going to go along with that, which is 予想しています. So 予想する is to expect or anticipate or guess, kind of, right? So here we are making a guess as to when the cherry blossom will bloom or blossom. Okay, next sentence.
日本気象協会は今年一番早く咲くのは東京と福岡で来月20日だと言っています。
I kind of apologize. That audio is very grainy. It's kind of hard to hear, but hopefully it's not too bad. Okay, so we have 日本気象協会は so the Japan Weather Association, I believe is what that one was called. The Japan Weather Association は main topic here. 今年 this year 今年一番 so 一番 number one or most, and then 早く early 咲く. So we have 早く pretty much always with 咲く in this article. Early, blossom or bloom early. 咲くのは so we have a no because we need to turn all of this into a noun in order to connect it to our wa here. So no, you can kind of think of it as a thing. So the thing or a place or really any kind of a noun. Whenever we need to turn a verb into a noun or an adjective into a noun, we can use no, and it's non-specific. So the thing, or in this case, the places. So the places where the cherry blossoms will blossom the earliest. So 一番早く is going to change 早く. So 早く by itself would be early. 一番早く literally number one early. In Japanese, that's how we say earliest. So you can kind of put that in front of any adjective to mean the most of that adjective. 一番早く. The earliest. So 一番早く咲くのは the places that will blossom or bloom the earliest 今年 this year. And then that's where our wa comes in is 東京と福岡で. So 東京 and と is going to be and 福岡 and 福岡. And then de here is like a te form of des. So this means it is going to be these two things, but we're not done with our sentence. You could just end the sentence here and say des, but we're not going to. We're going to continue our sentence, but this des still means is. So the places that the cherry blossoms will blossom the earliest this year are Tokyo and Fukuoka. And 3月, or she said 来月, the recording. So 来月 would be next month, or 3月, March. And then 20, this shouldn't be Nichi because 20th day of the month has a weird way of reading it. Instead of saying 20 nichi, we say 20. So 3月20, the 20th of March. Da, this is an is da, so kind of like our des, but a casual informal form of des, and we're using it in the middle of a sentence, so we use da. And then to itteimasu. To itteimasu, this comes from our verb you, to say something in the current form, so teiru form. Someone is currently saying this, and this goes back to our main topic of the Nihon Kishou Kyokai, which is the Japan Weather Association. So they are, what they're doing in this sentence is they are saying this, itteimasu, and then this to, whenever we have a to, well, there's a few uses of to, but here there's something that we're quoting. So, and this is what they are saying. So the Japan Weather Association is saying that the places that will bloom or blossom the earliest this year are Tokyo and Fukuoka, and that this will be on March 20th. 3月20日だと言っています. So whenever you're kind of trying to break down a sentence, eventually you'll get used to the Japanese order. But if you're a native English speaker like me, you can kind of like find which verbs connect with which subjects. So here we have to go all the way to the end to say, all right, this is what verb is connecting to our Japan Weather Association. They are saying, and then we can break each of these little pieces down and get our meaning. Okay, next sentence. Moving along. And sorry, once again, the audio is not the greatest today. Hopefully it doesn't hurt your ears too much. I can't tell, but it doesn't sound the cleanest today, so.
大阪は24日に咲くと言っています。
Okay, so 大阪は. So we can use wa here to kind of change our subject. So 大阪は, kind of duck right here. There you go. 24日. So when it comes to Osaka, 24日に, so the 24th に is, we are describing a specific time. So on the 24th, に咲く, 咲く, once again, bloom or blossom, と言っています. So they are saying that when it comes to Osaka, the cherry blossoms will blossom or bloom on the 24th. Okay, jump to our next screen, next sentence.
日本気象協会は1月にとても寒い日があって2月に暖かい日が多かったのでいつもの年より早く咲きそうだと言っています。
Okay, good. Now we are jumping back to our 日本気象協会は. So 日本気象協会 is going to be our Japan Weather Association again. They're our main topic here with wa. 1月に, so 1月, January に, in January. とても寒い日. So とても, very, 寒い, cold. And this is all describing our type of heat or day here. So とても寒い日 are very cold days. があって. So this is がある. ある is to exist or to have. So here we're saying in January there were, or there existed, very cold days. And then that ある we're putting in the te form to say, hey, we're not quite done with our sentence. And 2月に in February, 暖かい日. So 暖かい warm heat days, warm days が多かったので. So oi we use when there are many of something, and then this is in the past tense. So, 暖かい日が多かったので, so 多かった is our past tense, and then we use ので here because there were many warm days in February. いつもの年より, so this is just like in our headline, いつもの年より more than your average year. 早く咲きそうだ. So 早く咲く is going to be blooms or blossoms early again. And then 咲きそう is our seems like these will blossom earlier this year. And then だと言っています. So だと言っています once again is our verb that connects back to our main subject of 日本気象協会, which is the Japan Weather Association. So they are saying all of this. And what is all of this? All the way from here to here. So 1月にとても寒い日があって there were very cold days in January. 2月に暖かい日が多かったので so this ので kind of also applies to all of this. So because there were very cold days in January and there were many warm days in February, いつもの年より早く咲きそうだ. It seems like the cherry blossoms will bloom earlier than your average year. So this ので gives all of this as our reason from here to here. Because there were the many cold days in January and there were many warm days in February, that is the reason why it seems like the cherry blossoms will bloom earlier this year. And that is what the Japan Weather Association is saying. Okay, and now on to our final sentence here.
別の会社ウェザーマップは東京で来月16日、福岡で17日、大阪で22日に咲くと言っています。
Alright, so our final sentence, we have 別の会社. So 別 means separate or different. Or, separate or different. And 別の is how we connect this to another noun using の 別の会社. So another company, weather map. So weather map is weather map. So another company, weather map, wa. They're going to be our main topic or framework here. 東京で, so in Tokyo. De tells us our location where something is going to happen. 3月16日. So 3月 is going to be March. I believe in the recording she said 来月. So next month. 16日. So the 16th of March. Then we have 福岡で. So 福岡で. In 福岡. 17日 or 17日, either is fine, which is the 17th. And 大阪で22日. So in Osaka, the 22nd. に咲く. So bloom or blossom. と言っています. Once again, と言っています. So someone is saying something. So another company, Weather Map, is saying that the cherry blossoms will bloom or blossom in or on March 16th in Tokyo, on the 17th in Fukuoka, and on the 22nd in Osaka. And that is it for our article today. Are any of you in Japan? Hopefully you are. You get to see the cherry blossoms this year. Pretty much no matter where you are in Japan, you can find a cool place to view the cherry blossoms. So seems like this year's going to be early, but hopefully there's no big storm or anything that kind of blows or knocks all the cherry blossoms down. That's always the worst when you have a really nice cherry blossom year, and then the weather just destroys it. But hopefully that doesn't happen this year. So thank you so much for joining me today. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I'm going to try to do more live streams. The views on the videos are getting better and better, so hopefully more and more people are finding this content useful. Love to kind of have a little community where we can do this, and I might be switching up the times. This is kind of an interesting time where we barely get the evening in Japan, but get the really early morning in the US. So if there's ever a time that these might be easier for you, let me know, and I might be able to work that out. So once again, thank you for joining me. And I will plan on seeing you around. I think we will end the stream there today. But if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. There's plenty of content, particularly news content and live stream content going forward. So hope to see you there, and I will see you around. Mata ne!